I've been an Adventist my whole life. I grew up in an Adventist family. Um, and I'm 17. I I'm quite new to like a lot of this prophecy message, but just a few years ago, I wasn't into alcohol or drugs, but I was definitely in the world. I was listening to the dumb kind of music, like I was into dubstep, electronic music. I watched a lot of dumb videos. I wasted my time. Even though I knew what I was doing, I honestly knew what I was doing wasn't right. It wasn't good. But then I just started thinking about things, seeing the problems within the world more, and then I slowly just wanted to make a change in my life. So yeah, I'm just making steps upon steps, and now I'm here, and I'm glad I went here because now I have lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
The people, first of all, are beyond amazing. I That's the one thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, I'm way down here because people, they like the health message. I'm like, wow, I need to get on this run of doing what God wants me to do. The message was totally different. You're not used to hearing it in churches. It's a completely different message, but it's an amazing message because it's just talking about the foundation of our church and where we should stand as a church today so we can be ready for when God does come. So it's something I really am thankful that I came here for, so I can work on those things and be ready for when God does come. It's just something I want to study for myself because I do see that is work definitely upon the people's lives here. That's something I noticed first of all, is just people are just talking about God so much. I'm not used to that, and it's good. I love that people are actually talking about things that matter and that are problems in the world, and you don't really notice that much in a lot of places. They talk about things that just don't matter, and people were loving here, and that's what I liked here, and there was no one judgmental. So that's one thing I found is God definitely reflected to me through them, because the people here are very kind and just wanting to follow God. So that's inspiring. For people that aren't sure if they want to go or should they go, or maybe people are telling them not to go to this, it doesn't make sense because the people here are amazing. The message is amazing. There's nothing that would make sense for people to reject this because it's completely going to what God calls us to be. How are we going to approach this message as a people? Are we going to just backlash on it and not even willing to hear it? We don't have to maybe completely understand everything word for word, because yeah, I can understand it can be difficult for some people. Some people just don't understand things as well as other people. But if we aren't willing to understand it or even hear it, that obviously shows that there is some kind of problem within our lives, maybe a hindrance between us and God, that we don't want to listen to that. So I do want to kind of get this message across to other people, because many teens don't know anything about this, and neither do adults. I've noticed sometimes teens will be a little bit more accepting of things at a younger age, but once someone is older, they'll get a little bit more stubborn to certain things. And so I think that is an opportunity for me to go to that school and maybe try to open up to people to this about this message. So I do see that God has a work for me in the upcoming future. I've also heard some people say bad things about it, like I know some people, when I said I was going to the camp meeting, they're like, oh, you're going to get brainwashed and it's kind of sad to me because those are actually people I'm close to. They're quite close members of friends and so forth, and people I've known for a long time. So it's just sad to see them say something like that when they don't really know anything about it. Because here are so many people saying negative things about this message. I'm just like, why are you doing that? You seem to know nothing about the message. Probably, and it was actually just a little while ago. I think end of June, so barely like a month ago. Maybe a little bit longer ago. Maybe like the middle of June. But my uncle Theodore, he actually asked me if I could edit the videos from last year's prophecy camp meeting, and I didn't really get to watch all of them through, but I did hear bits and pieces, and like, this sounds like a really interesting message. I actually like this. It's really good. I don't hear anything negative, but then again, I didn't hear anything all the way through. But yeah, I edited them, and then I came to this camp meeting because they wanted me to film, and I'm just blown away because even though I don't understand everything, I definitely can see the change that is done in other people's lives, and I can see that there's a working of my life even though I don't completely understand the message so far, so yet. So I'm insanely new to this message. I'm all basically, you could say, brand new.